In the distant African savannah, there was a young lion named Leo. He was the prince of his pride, with golden fur and eyes that gleamed like amber. Although he looked every bit like a future king, Leo harbored a secret. He was terribly afraid of adventure. Even during hunts, he often retreated behind his mother, too timid to face the challenges ahead. Whenever the elders spoke of courage and wisdom as the true marks of a great leader, Leo would lower his head in silence, feeling unworthy of such expectations. One day, under the shade of a great baobab tree, the elder lion gathered the pride and spoke in his deep, resonant voice. There is a legend of the Heart of Courage, a mystical treasure hidden deep within the savannah. To find it, one must cross the dark forest, brave the roaring rivers, and endure the scorching desert. Only those with true bravery can succeed. These words stirred something inside Leo. He knew he had to prove himself, to overcome his fears and show that he was more than just a timid cub. With his mother's blessing, Leo set off on a journey to find the Heart of Courage. As he entered the dark forest, an eerie atmosphere enveloped him. Towering trees with thick branches blocked out the sunlight, leaving the forest shrouded in shadows. The only sounds were the rustling of leaves and the distant calls of unseen creatures, making Leo's heart pound with fear. He wanted to turn back, but the thought of his mission kept him moving forward. Suddenly, a monkey leapt down from a tree, clutching a bunch of ripe bananas. The monkey laughed and said, well, a little lion cub in the dark forest. Do you even know what you're doing here? The leopards deeper in the woods would love to meet you, for dinner. Leo took a step back, fear tightening his chest, but he mustered enough courage to reply, I'm here to find the Heart of Courage, and I won't give up. The monkey raised an eyebrow and smirked, good luck, little coward. Feeling both embarrassed and determined, Leo pressed on. A little later, he heard faint cries for help and discovered an antelope caught in a thorn bush. Its leg was bleeding, and its eyes were filled with desperation. Please help me, young lion, the antelope pleaded. Leo hesitated. Antelopes were prey for lions, but this one seemed so helpless. Summoning his bravery, Leo used his teeth to carefully pull apart the thorns, freeing the antelope. Thank you, said the antelope gratefully. Head north from here, and you'll find a safer path. For the first time, Leo felt a flicker of pride, not from strength, but from kindness. The fear that had gripped him began to fade. After leaving the forest, Leo reached a roaring river. The water surged violently, crashing against the rocks and creating a deafening noise. His heart sank as he wondered how he could possibly cross. A hippopotamus, basking on the riverbank, lifted its head and asked, Little lion, do you wish to cross this river? Yes, Leo replied honestly, but I don't know how. The hippo pondered for a moment and said, This river is dangerous, but true courage lies in trying despite the fear. Step onto the stones, but tread carefully. Leo jumped onto the first stone, but the swirling water nearly threw him off balance. Just then, a flock of flamingos swooped down from the sky. Hold on to our wings, they said, forming a bridge with their long necks and feathers. With their help, Leo safely made it to the other side. The hippo called out from afar, Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the willingness to act despite it. Those words filled Leo with a newfound strength. The river behind him, Leo ventured into the desert. The blazing sun beat down mercilessly, and the scorching sand burned his paws. Exhausted and parched, he pushed forward, determined not to give up. Along the way, he encountered a lost fox cub crying in despair. I can't find my way home, the little fox whimpered. Seeing the fox's distress, Leo remembered the guidance he had received from others during his journey. He used the position of the sun to determine the right direction and led the fox to a nearby oasis. "Thank you, brave lion," said the fox, its eyes gleaming with gratitude. Helping the fox filled Leo with a deep sense of fulfillment, and he realized that courage often comes from helping others. After a long and arduous journey, Leo finally arrived at a towering mountain. At its base was a dark cave, illuminated by an otherworldly glow emanating from within. Summoning all his resolve, he stepped inside. The air was still, and the silence was almost deafening. As he ventured deeper, a deep and majestic voice echoed through the cavern. "Welcome, young lion." Leo looked up to see a massive statue of an ancient lion king, its eyes glowing with a soft, warm light. "You seek the heart of courage," the voice continued, "but do you know that true courage does not lie in objects or treasures? It has always been within you." Confused, Leo asked, "Then where is the heart of courage?" The statue smiled. "Close your eyes and think about all that you have done." Leo closed his eyes and recalled freeing the antelope, crossing the river with the help of the flamingos, and guiding the lost fox to safety. Slowly, he began to understand. Courage wasn't about being fearless, it was about facing challenges, helping others, and persevering despite fear. When he opened his eyes, the glow in the cave had disappeared, but his heart was brimming with confidence and strength. As Leo made his way back home, the forest no longer seemed as intimidating, the river felt conquerable, and even the harsh desert seemed less daunting. When he returned to the pride, the lions roared in celebration. The elder lion smiled approvingly and said, "Leo, you have become a true lion of courage, a future king." Leo lifted his head to the sky, feeling the wind caress his mane. He knew that greater challenges lay ahead, but he was ready to face them with the courage he had discovered within himself. On that day, the savannah seemed to sing in harmony with his newfound bravery, celebrating the young lion who had become more than he ever thought he could be. Do you still like today's story? If you like, please remember to subscribe to this channel and click the like icon. You can receive notifications and hear the latest stories as soon as possible. Good night, my baby.